Hey, welcome to Mike's Chains, and thanks for joining me for another video. In this video, we're going to work on the retaining walls that go down each side of this area. Last week we made this bridge and roadway, which looks pretty good in there. I gotta say, I really like it in there. So this week we're going to work on building the retaining walls that go on either side underneath this bridge. So why don't we get started on getting those made? Okay, so I have this paper and it's cut to the same height as this. It's 2 inches high. This is two layers of 1-inch foam. So I'm going to lay this in here like this, and I'm going to kind of draw on here where I want the wall to go. So this is what we're going to end up with. So this wall is going to come like this. So that's this wall right here. And I'm kind of following the rock line here on this side of things. So that's this side. So we're going to mark this with an L because it's to my left side. And then I have a second piece. Now I know you're looking at this and you're saying these are actual steps and it doesn't really conform to what I've got here. This is going to be taken care of with Sculpt-A-Mold. Okay? And we'll get that curve in there, but that's going to sit on this, right on this side, like this. So we'll mark this with a right. And this faces out. We'll put an X there. And then we'll put an X on this one for the side that faces out. So then I know left and right. And we'll go in there like that. So now it's time, we got to go up onto the workbench and start getting this stuff built. Alright, so here we are on my workbench here. And these are the templates we just made downstairs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out. Okay, so there's our two templates. Now, what we're going to do with these, so these go like this. What we're going to do with these is I'm going to cut these out of basswood. And this is what I'm going to use. This is just a 1/8 inch thick of basswood. And I'm gonna cut this 2 inches high by the whole length. So first things first is we're gonna measure this up 2 inches. And then we'll just throw this piece to the side. Again, we never throw anything away. We just put it to the side. You never know when that might come up. Now, we'll take our piece here and put it on here. And we're going to trace out what we need. Now, I want to keep these at straight angles. I know when I drew it as a curve, but I think it's better to pull this off as straight corners. So we have a left and a right. So I'm just going to do a quick sand down the edges. So these are our two edges. Now, on this back side, I want to take and put a small angle here. I think we're only going to come down I'm going to go a ½ an inch down and a ½ an inch in. Okay, so I know I have a notch out here. I'm not going to worry too much about that. The bridge sits on this side of it. This right here will never show. So, and that's only, I only had that only happened because I'm doing things a little quickly. And the reason we do that, the reason I'm doing that, the reason we're doing this is because this mirror here is going to butt up to the glass. So I want to show, I want it to be kind of on a down grade. If you follow, it'll just continue. And this mirror here is a little different than your standard mirror. Let's see if it'll show up in the camera. Now, this is called front surface mirror. Regular mirror, when you put it up to the glass, if you can see in there, there's a gap between the ruler and the reflection. Yeah, there's a gap. It's very small, but it's there. Maybe a straight edge, just a little bit straighter. You can see a small line between the images. When you look at this on the other side, I can peel back this coating a little bit. So this is the good side of the mirror. If you can see it here, there's no gap at all. It's just straight up. It's a continuous thing. As opposed to this side with the gap in the mirror. So the gap is the thickness of the glass. Okay? I use this mirror for this purpose because it doesn't leave the gap, and you can put things up to it, and it's a perfect lineup to what you're going to do. Now the problem with the first surface mirror, it's very expensive. I bought this piece probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I spent about 30 bucks for it, and that was I think it was 8 inches by 12 or 8 by 10, something like that, for $30. I just went and looked it up today, and for the same size piece of glass it would have cost me $59. I happen to have a piece left over here I found, so I don't have to buy more, thankfully, but yeah, it's very expensive. But to pull off the illusion, it really works well. So, anyway, back to this. These are going to be our sidewalls. I didn't want to buy any because, well, I don't want to. I think we can get by with what I've got here. So these are going to be the uprights for our bridge. And I'm going to add, like I did the retaining walls on the where the train station platforms are. So I have this styrene. This is 60 thousandths by 156 thousandths. And what'll happen is these will come in here, and we'll add these down about every, I don't know, 8 scale feet or so, starting at the end here. And we'll evenly divide it up across the whole thing. And then, as well as, we're going to run a piece across the top like this, flush to the back, and it's going to overhang the front just a little bit, just a small edge over the front. and then we'll paint this, so smooth this smooth, because it's a little bit rough right now. You can see little slivery kind of chunks of stuff here. We'll smooth this out, glue these pieces on, paint it concrete color, and it'll be a perfect perfect retaining wall for our bridge. Alright, so we're back, and I actually went out and I painted these two pieces. And you'll notice some different parts in here. I've notched out for the I-beams under the bridge. Now, in order to paint these to make the wood grain go away, because you know obviously we used wood, basswood, as I said in the past. To make that go away, what I did was I did 2 coats of a clear gloss on these, and then I rubbed those down. I sanded them, you know, pretty good once the clear was dried, and then I took my green scrubby pad here and I went over that, smoothed them all out, and then I did a coat of primer over that. So now there's no wood grain left showing on this. It's all filled in, it's all dried. So what I have is I have my chopper here. Let's take off these little pieces here. We don't need these on here. And I'm going to mark off. Let's start with one of these. And I'm just going to get a pencil. And I'm going to start with the first one. And I'm going to run it right down the side here. I'm going to mark this off. So I'm going to put them on there like that. Now I'm going to do the tops. And then we're going to cut our first piece. Actually, we'll do this piece first. As I'm putting this on here, what I want an overhang on these right here that's the same height as this, so when these go on they go flush. Alright, so that's going to go like that. And then all I'm going to do, some of my joints, I have little gaps in here, little things like that that I want to take care of. So I'm just going to take some filler and fill those in. So I'm going to go do this other panel off camera just to get it done. Alright, so now I've gone, and we're back, and I've gone and I've painted both of these retaining walls, and I think they came out pretty good. I'm happy with them. We're gonna definitely use them. But what I want to do is I want to add a little more character or flavor to these. So what I have are these decal sheets of graffiti right here. So I got these from Microscale, and I kind of like them. They're kind of cool. So we're going to put some of these on here, and it's going to add just a little bit of flavor to our pieces here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a couple of these, and I'm going to add these to this. I'm going to set this in the water, and what I have over here is a little container I have, and I just filled it with, on the bottom end here, with a little bit of distilled water. Okay, so we're going to put a few on here. Alright, so now we have all those on. I'm not going to do any more than that. I think that's enough. I'm just going to take some of this Microscale now, and we're just going to dab over the top of those and let those sit. It'll just flatten out anything that's not right on them. Alright everybody, that's it. That's all I have. So the next step with all of this, before I go and install these, is once this all dries up, once these all dry up, then we're going to come back. I'm going to clear coat with a flat clear coat over the top of this, and then I'm just going to drop a little weathering on here, and then they're going to get installed. So all that being said, I think that's going to be it for this week. Thanks for watching. Glad to have you along, and if you're just finding me for the first time, by all means hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. Love to have you along. If you haven't already, visit my website. It's mikestrains.wordpress.com. You can find much more stuff on my layout, things that I've done and things that are going to be done in the future. There's a lot of things on there that I'm going to be redoing in more series. So yeah, that's it for this week. So until next time, happy modeling.